of players entrenched in the site, ready to anchor.
Trying to clear some of that Sentinel util that's gotten their way into this B site. Why are you trying to play from behind this cyber cage? But K9 is dealt with Juicy. That's a play towards mid. Now, there's less of a timer on Billy. Awareness, of course, of a play through market. They've got to get going, and YZ wastes no time. Touching on down, but can't play off the flash that comes onto the defenders. Wolves are stalwart here on this pistol. And Levius is trapped here at Switch. Spring will step up to dispatch him. And all things considered, that's a pretty clean start.
Beautiful anchoring. YU connecting some great shots, swinging out from the back on that right side. Crucially, Subat denies YZ. Those two players in tandem. And YU also kind of ensuring with that swing out that no one could trade onto Subat, who was wide out in the open.
Stupefies!
Fnatic vibes. Okay, respected.
The timing.
Is he's spoken about how much he admires some of these top-tier IGL's mainstays. VALORANT boaster two of the best that he was acknowledging earlier.
He hopes to join their ranks. Getting into playoffs is a huge next step in that plan.
And now I do want to talk about the importance of winning the pistol round here on defense with this Wolves comp, because the operator is pivotal to getting this double Sensi look rolling. Get it in the hands of your Yoru, post up in different positions early, and then try and route the attackers, force them to want to avoid the op, and then run into all of that stack.
Funnel them into the util.
Yeah, you want them to be running into the trips, and it's going to be so dangerous for YZ. Playing Neon against 4 tripwires could be an agonizing experience.
Double Sentinel compositions. Definitely have what it takes to slow that Neon down, provide that stopping power. 0 Point does reveal some defenders here, but nothing out of the ordinary as far as Billy are concerned. But with 40 seconds on the ticker, they've got to make a decision.
See them already prioritizing, trying to get some orbs to Neff. You are going to want that null command against the comp Wolves are running.
30 seconds
Get those
left.
trips deactivated so you can try to get a clean exec later in this half.
The stack up towards that heaven side as Juicy takes first contact, knows now. But Billy are trying to push up into upper. He's going to have to work them down. Clutch might have been available, but Spring is handled. Juicy tries to fall back off the line. Relay Bolt forces it back to a degree, and YZ is dealt with, but this is good trading for the attackers now. Lysor is overwhelmed in hell. Shieldfat has the chance to intervene, but Billy disperse themselves around the site, and even though K9 gets the drop on Shieldfat, he can't convert.
Oh, that's a beautiful flash, Musha! Excellent timing to play off of it.
1 health, 1 singular point of health. Shieldfat, I like that. Shock just away. He's on the edge of it. Rusia with a solitary point of health. Now looks to challenge. The shock darts expended.
Standing ahead.
No connection for Silfat. He himself is low, and there's Rusia! MasterCard drifting with 1 point of health left. It doesn't get any closer than that.
How on earth have they gotten away with that? That little play in the 2 versus 2. That underhanded flash up from Neff at the exact timing. Rusia had worked through window to swing out with a classic. That was a lovely play, making the most of the minimal amount of options that they had in that situation. But where are the trades in the heaven fight? Where are the shots? Nothing is connecting from Wolves.
The relay bolt forced Juicy. And Billy got to take these, XP1 scenarios all across the map. Worked the map to get rid of that util early as well. Very quick hit over towards the B side, already starting to unfold. YU Silfat dealt with YZ. Able to get this Spectre involved. Juicy's dealt with it Speedway now, running headlock into Spring and dispatches him with ease.
And that's a YZ moment early on. 8 HP. What if I go for more anti-eco kills?
7 more than he needs.
Continue to hunt. Pretty effortless there from BLG. Impressive shot from YU, but no real economic damage done. We were just talking about the importance of getting the economy rolling for Wolves so they can get to an operator. BLG had fully denied that. Cannot believe that they've wrangled the game back immediately in this fashion. Wolves are getting their full buy off. But they are going up against a pretty strong bonus because Billy already have a stupid big economy on account of just winning that anti-eco. This doesn't even feel like they're going up against a bonus. This is a full buy.
Without an economy running, there's no op prospects for Juicy just yet. Posted pretty far forward towards the mid part of the map, but has the gate crash out. Big damage wise, he dinked down to 10 as he tentatively inches into mid.
Sufa has picked up that Odin, which is still strong on the map, not as obnoxious with those changes towards B main earlier in the year, but there are still some paper-mache walls like this if you want to get the spam down mid.
Wisey's sticking to that left side wall, protecting himself against potential spam from Sealfat. Sealfat not shoulder peeking this, he's waiting off another form of info gain. Does have Juicy watching from an off-range. Oh, buddy! Finds the time absolutely perfectly. And there's a refresh of the dark cover in B main, so Billy don't walk up B yet.
BLG now lacking their space creator when they want to go for an execute. Some of those trips have been dealt with a bit of that defensive utility. There's still some spread across the map though, BLG. K-Knight is trying to really sell this presence on B as they slowly creep towards A, but they still have to deal with a couple of deadlock trips.
There
are multiple Wolves players there.
K-Knight can't convert. Sealfat's able to get away, or not! Rather respect how close K-Knight was, but Juicy at least gets involved. Here from main, that A presence has been neutralized in the dying seconds of the round. There's a plant here from Billy.
How are they still winning these fights? There was very little time left. The pressure to run into the site. Juicy has multiple flashes to try and get out of this dark cover as soon as the molly expires. But BLG, they're playing anti, shouldn't get blinded up.
Turret, of course, firing at that clone. 4-8 here from Tree. Juicy makes a bit of noise, but the door is shut.
Yeah, they've split up. He has to break it.
Door is down, but it's time that has been bled off the clock. Levius shrugs off the flash, is ready to take the fight. A second one comes in, and Juicy runs into his line. Lysor, the veteran, on the site, gives it a tap. Resets, and he delivers. No stranger to criticism. Lysor's had his fair share of the last couple of days, but in his 4th consecutive global, he delivers a stunning round like that.
He said in the press conference that he's just blocking out the criticism. His team is still behind him. He still has that self-belief. He comes up in a round of the utmost importance. I can't believe that BLG were able to get that so close. It was bizarre. Late in the round, they got so spread across the map. Look at how little time there was. Multiple anchors on the site. And it feels like Wolves coming in a little bit cold right now with the aim. But then Lysor makes me eat my words at the end there. That was a disgusting snapshot.
Hard fought round there for Wolves. It was costly. Does Billy have that economic base to play off of? Had to be a gate crash out there for Juicy, lest he be suppressed by the 0 point.
Look, you can see right now that they've got YU over towards that A side, all the trips over at B. That's standard play when you're facing down a null command.
Dangerous here. Hunter's Fury now coming out from Sealfat. He knows his action over towards mid. Wisey trying to dodge away from those blasts. Levius that was handled on the B side. He just walked into main on his own. Lysor turns the flash and there's trade potential, but it's not necessary. Lysor is having one. Last couple of rounds, 4 kills for him. Big impact.
He's had enough of the chatter online, the criticism. He's stepping up when they needed him most. YZ trying to even things up. That spring caught alone in the corner.
There's another potential double up for the defenders here, though. YU is going to be... What is this? Okay, Annihilation drawn out. YZ trying to play ahead of it. Gets rid of Lysor, but can he save his compatriot? Oh, Rushia. It's too late to save him for the Cocoon. YZ has to play through 3. Has a spike to hand at least. The time is not on his side, Wyatt.
Where will he attempt to go? Or at this point,
home.
Probably just save, yeah. Take a stroll right out of there into the attack spawn. Keep this rifle into the next. As you mentioned, BLG, they had that economic base that you get just from winning the anti-eco early, which has applied so much pressure to Wolves, just knowing coming into every single round that their economy is hanging in the balance. It's on the line. They could get eco'd at any, or put on an eco at any time. BLG just comfortable.
It's a solo walk up from Levius there in main. Good trade architecture set up here. It wasn't necessary in the end.
This is a little mental. But he gets away with it. All good.
Little jump swing.
He got away with it.
Yeah, okay. We are limbering up.
Just takes a gander.
Okay, next time I saw with a bit of feeling.
Yeah.
A bit more. I need some more movement out there. You know what I'm saying?
The VOD review Sentinels. Get some tips and tricks from Zelsis.
Just point at him. You know, you just point. Maybe around 6 now. It is still Billy. with the ability to buy and a lot of ultimates in hand. Juicy, a little disconnected from the rest of Wolves there.
I mean, still, though, I can't blame him. He's happy to try to take these fights when he has the gate crash to get away. But to be fair, he was close to the kill on YZ. Certainly have rather gone for a play like that with the AWP. All right, here comes the null command. Hit coming through. Hey, I love this from Wolves. Double up in main. Try to get the kill on Rusha.
I picked the wrong player to try and collapse on, though. YZ instantly is there. Russia bailed out of having to go 1 versus 2. Great execution and pretty cheaply done. Just the null command committed here by Billy. Can sit back on a post plant with a Hunt's Fury and a whole lot else to play off of now, especially with lockdown being earned.
That was the right pivot attempt from Wolves to get a couple players in main so you could try to isolate the one guy on that split in the for the 4-1 hit, but Arusha crucially just wins out that duel. Yeah, for me, one of the players who has stepped up the most from watching the playoff run into Toronto.
Okay, so Fat probably doesn't want to swing on this one. Firing squad looking straight at him. And Billy get an important attack side round just as their economy was starting to founder.
Unfortunately, too, in that moment, I think Lysor was pushed up kind of close to B main on the minimap, so when the null command was used, it actually caught onto him. So those trap wires that he had set over towards A were actually going off. And that just allowed BLG to sprint through tree, get into the site for free. Could have slowed them down a bit, maybe helped with that fight that Wolves took in main, but not going to be the case. This is going to force them into a timeout.
Last round, Juicy likely would have been able to handle.
Did Spring throw him the Sheriff last second? I'm not exactly sure because he had just the classic a second ago.
He still has 3.7, so I think you're right.
Maybe trying to give it to the guy who's hitting harder with the aim right now.
Yep.
Which, listen, I think luckily for Wolves is Lysor. If he's waking up and everyone else can get into that form that they've been in, specifically Spring and Juicy, then we're talking about an even more dangerous Wolves squad.
Undoubtedly the key to the game here for Wolves. YZ gets very far up on site very early. Spring trying to get onto the site, but he has to walk through a fragment. Takes a bunch of damage on the way in. YU playing out from tree. So I'm going to find a pick here, and there's Rushia going down. They're lit up here by the Sober Util. Wolves taking it slow. Pinkspiel tearing Billy apart. Spike's loose out in front of K-Knight, and he's got 3 guns to get past.
I have the spike.
Dimensional drift, just to confirm. Yes, K-Knight is here. Wolves set up to close the net.
Even pinged by the cam. This is a nightmare.
K-Knight still with a decent amount of health.
Oh, inside that. Oh my god.
Another massacre.
Misery.
This
for
time.
K-Knight.
And this time from Wolves. Such patient play off heaven. Spring, I think, tries to dive in a little bit early there, Wyatt. Caught in some of that KO util, but after that, it's the playoff of Silfat's Recon util that gets them in there.
Some great pop flashes out of the smoke as well, coming from Juicy. That Recon. You can see even this time being wasted and players distracted from BLG because they're still trying to deal with trips that are on the site. The cages are making things awkward as well. Like you see YZ's just preoccupied breaking stuff in the corner. We're already into the next one. Oh my word. And Juicy's picked up the off. Oh, he's just greedy though and gets punished.
Unrecoverable for YZ, but you were right. That save in the last round from Lysor. Definitely trending towards an early op into the hands of the Yoru.
And don't even end up needing that cash when they just recover a bunch of rifles, win out the eco round, put BLG in a pretty horrific economic situation for the first time in this half outside of when they lost the pistol but then immediately won that eco of their own.
I wonder what triggered the use of this barrier here from Lysor. Might have just been arbitrarily thrown out, so it doesn't have much longer to stand. It will be cleared anyway. Gravnet caught. YZ wants to go for it. Relay bolt comes in. Dangerous now. Hunter's Fury, but Lysor is trying to dodge away from it. Now YZ's unleashed. Looking for some connection off this overdrive, but Silfat's waiting for him. Spring's going to be there. Spray under the door just as it comes down. And a Billy are hampered. Down to 2.
And look at this now with their Sentinel down. Pay attention to YU. He's wrapping all the way back to A main. This is going to be a multi-pronged retake. BLG know they need to get proactive, but they're punished for it.
They had to go for it, try and get some more extremity control of this A side, but eventually the Wolves hunt them down. Billy off a decent start, trading, getting the op loose, make the pitch over towards A and are decimated.
Both teams really went for some great little plays there towards Cat. That was some impressive stuff, to be honest. I like that Wolves, when they're recognizing when these splits are coming in, that they need to just be active on one side of it to catch a player off. That was YZ. He was paranoid up, but then he sends in the relay bolt, and they get an immediate Hunter's Fury used to save him, kill Lysor when he's stunned. That is just some lightning-fast awareness of how to take advantage of the ults and abilities that they have. That was fantastic. Again, Wolves, their economy is burgeoning at this point. They're throwing another op to Juicy. He went 1 for 1. That was a little greedy. Probably could have just gone out with the one.
Lockdown for Levy is still being held onto. We'll see decent spots to place it into a Hunter's Fury round, potentially. You've got to account for that server ultimate.
I believe they did get the 0 point onto Juicy in mid, so they know about where this operator is at, and they're going to use this lockdown to try and clear everyone out of B. Still, look at the amount of tripwires littered across this site.
The shocks aren't actually clearing any of that utility here from the Sentinels, Wyatt. So now Sufat can sit back, go for a spray. Sprint to the drop of Rushia. Where is the rest of BLG? They can't get off Speedway at all. Too much sexy util, and BLG disrespected.
Just entirely disconnected from Rushia. Bold to try and get in there with a spike plant. They just can't get out of main. They're stuffed in the choke. There's trips. There's the grab net that goes down, connects onto a couple players, I believe, or at least forces them to get out the way. And then Wolves just flood back in. Lysor is on one, by the way. Another big round, multi-kill, 3K.
But we've got to talk about it. There's a massive timing issue there for Billy. They, use that Omen ult to get onto the side. That's always the plan. But Rushia is so far ahead of his team because they don't account for multiple humbled somewhat. Forced down to a bit of a half buy. Rushia with a bit of a variation on positioning there. A bit further back, but it's pinged out by the looks of things. Lysor just takes him out of the game instantly.
He is hitting right now. Aim is on point. Intuition guiding him there. Just got the trip for the mid info. Pretty standard stuff. Juicy is rotated to pick up towards Tree. They've really got their eyes on everything. There's such a deep trip in B main that had to be cleared as well. Billy do remove both of the trap wires from the map.
Better pace this time for Billy. Diligent clearing of this Sentinel stall and info utility.
But even still, with Rushia down, having to hit a site without being able to obscure any angles.
No smokes left.
Brutal for them.
Contacting to an offline is always dangerous in that situation too, but Juicy doesn't land the shot. He's going to be forced back as well by the 0 point. Annihilation popped here by Lysor. Billy have a chance to respond, and they opt to back out.
They're going straight to B. Juicy catches them on the rotate to market. Again, those lack of smokes, just making it a nightmare to play against this operator. There's been a From the Shadows backside entrenched in Spring with Sufat.
And now Spring is able to get into Boathouse with that TP. Extra players to bolster the B-hold, and K-Knight has got to go for it. Caution to the wind thrown. Sufat brings a stabilizing aspect to take Wolves to 7 defense side rounds.
I mean, what an advantage that is for, got on by Lysor, just finding that spam kill early on. That essentially feels like it just ends the round. You're trying to rotate around a scent against an op.
Without smokes.
You're cooked in mid. You're so cooked.
There's almost guaranteed that Juicy was going to have another chance to take contact somewhere on the map. He makes a good rotation to mid. And then this is just it's a very haggard sort of last-ditch attempt to go towards the B side. The round is basically won very early on.
I'm sure Lysor doesn't get a kill without Annihilation, but it just pushes them into B. Force BLG's hand. They're on the full buy now, but it's left them with some awkward weaponry. Specifically, you're looking at Neff, just has the Stinger right now. They're trying to break this trap in mid.
We're going to talk about Neff because those null commands are pretty pivotal if you want to play that fast hit style against Double Senti. Neff has not been developing those ultimates.
Now, Juicy had pushed up in B main, left, and now look at YU's positioning. Has this deep trip that he likes to place again.
Cleared.
And then Juicy has pivoted over towards A. They have control of A main because of the barrier mesh.
This is the same spot Juicy held last round, and he missed the shot. Don't expect that to happen again.
The setup from Lysor now is so good. Flash is crucial to get Juicy out of there. Lysor wants to fight. Can Juicy get back to actually help?
Lysor didn't want to give up the space. Eventually, though, he has to. Juicy just takes a further back line. Relay bolt's going to be respected, and here comes YZ to collect. The operator taken loose. Lysor steps up and only gets the one at Spring. Moves out onto the side. Got to respect the fragment, at least gets his pound of flesh. This puts Wolves now. Is Sufat in a position to make use of this recon bolt to spray into the side?
Just waiting to see if he'd even just risk ripping the Hunter's Fury to try and kill the planter in this situation. Doesn't want to. They're definitely going for this.
He's the danger player.
Their money is out of control.
Eyes on Gasova. YU Cam, that'll be clear. Sufat spray has forced K-Knight out of the open somewhat. Bolt going to be cleared. YU, oh, there's a ping, and Russia is handled. Sufat trying to find K-Knight in that direction. He's considering even diving in for this one. Confirms his location. It's K-Knight v Sufat. A shot, he gets the job done. Danger, danger, but no time for a defuse. Sufat has to walk away with bragging rights and nothing more.
Going to keep that Odin. The kills were pretty sick from Wolves. They really are able to make the most of this util that they've got. That recon again gets so much value. Neither player able to break it, so YU gets the kills. But this moment from YZ was really the pivotal one for the attackers. Juicy didn't have a gate crash to escape. YZ perfectly places that relay bolt to punish him.
Wolves looking a little different now, with Lysor brimming with his confidence. Look at how he keeps playing forward in trees, determined to actually try and take these fights. Juicy still has the op to hand, but the protocols from Billy for dealing with that op in Yoru last round were pretty much perfect.
Juicy has full control of B main. I will say Billy are doing a great job of breaking the
double op
in this. Yeah, why not? They have
got the money.
So much money.
Last round of the half. Juicy wants that contact.
Closed.
What a timing.
Gate crash expired, so needs to refresh it. Still an opportunity to take that contact peak, but I don't know how aggressive Levius intends to be here. Juicy might end up walking into his line. That'll mean the Tyrant can take contact for him. Inching ever closer. Neither player wanting to blink first. It is a stalemate over at B main. Check back in with that one. Levius gets out. Okay, why is he caught inside it? Sonic Sensor by the looks of things, but a relay bot catches Lysor in main. Off the line in B. No encounter there, but Rushi has dealt with him. That's your controller down. Midway through the round, Levius eventually wins that encounter. That's the Opping Yoru dropped, and YU's trying to rotate him, but K-Knight is already there. Billy have done enough to get this B plant.
That was such a fast maneuver from BLG to get over to this B site. That was a moment again where they were lacking smokes from Rusha, no dark cover to protect them when they had to cross through mid. But K-Knight wins that duel and Levius cracks the site open. What a high impact kill on that lurk.
200's Furies in the pocket for both sides. Okay, here comes the attack side one first. K-Knight looking to scout, see where this retake might originate from. He's found nothing. Sufat wants to try and light up with a recon and then make the play instantly into Boathouse. This is looking dangerous. Already get hit. Lysor handled those springs, trying to get ahead of the action. It's all on Sufat now. Standout player for Wolves, but can't do enough to give them that 8th round. And then we get to the end of the half, Billy have been able to produce 5 attack side rounds.
GL Sufat doing it all individually and leading the team here. Intentions of going to this B side early from Wolves.
Big damage taken by Lysor early, but it's YU pushing down Speedway. Look at the pace here from Wolves. We talked about them adapting to go a bit more up-tempo. This attack side pistol exemplifies that. Nap just caught red-handed. Util in his grasp, and YZ takes a little bit too long to find that kill, allows Spring a third. And now he's going to have to do it in a 1v4.
We said his name, and Spring has appeared in this round. He gets a pivotal 3K. That paranoia connecting for an easy kill on lane to open things up feels absolutely impossible for YZ here. There's no way this should be winnable.
Right, they'll be starting to hound at YZ. in the next few moments, and he knows he has neither the time nor the wherewithal to clear out Wolves. And there's the pistol picked up by the attack side.
And even in just this first round, you're going to see something that will become a consistent theme if Wolves are able to get into the sites pretty much, you know, I'm not going to say for free, but if they can get into the sites easily and then get all of the sensitive utility down, Deadlock will thrive on attack when she's alive, she's in the site. You can get that barrier mesh, which is usually going to be used at the door, which it was in that round. You get your sonic sensors placed as well. Those are the situations where she's going to be high impact on attack, or, you know, syncing up some of those grav nets.
And normally the double sentinel composition in the past with Jet was pretty flashlight and had to use that controller util to take map space, but we know that Juicy comes packing a couple of flashes. Billy opted for a pretty far forward B main presence. Maybe a look towards mid. Control this space with these more appropriate longer range weapons as Juicy draws a bead on Wisey's approximate location.
Here.
Wolves just opting to take things nice and slow, absorb any potential early aggression that may have come from the BLG side, but they're playing fairly spread at the moment, not going for a gamble stack.
Does K-Knight dare to push ahead of an owl drone if it comes out? Cam, cleared. K-Knight trying to back off. It's going to get a little bit uncomfortable for him. Oh, Barty, he and Levius take an absolute beating. Now, of course, that smoke over towards that CT side, and we're going to see the walls explode out of B main. Gravnet looks like it did catch up one or more players. And there it is, Juicy eventually catches Neff.
30 seconds left.
Cutting them off there. Just going to call for the rest of the team to maneuver towards this A side. Only Rusha. Stuck at door right now. Are they going to check this? Yes, they do. YU.
So the Ghost player YU. The opener in the pistol round looked great there. YZ belatedly gets to the party. Wolves now distribute 3 players towards that A main direction, leaving Juicy in the site for this expected retake. But what is there to be done? Billy realized it's going to be pretty hard to get any traction in a situation like this. So they sit back, contemplate. Start a game plan for these upcoming rounds.
They did invest into a couple sheriffs, which is, you know, of note. We'll see how that affects their buy.
Oh,
they get to the
what a
first
timing.
round. Oh, that is
bloody brilliant.
Brutal for Sufat. No one watching his back.
Lysol trapped here.
Was.
No way. Lysol completes the kill contract. Levies with the drop on them, though. This has gotten a bit ugly for Wolves. From an economic standpoint, not nearly as clean as they wanted.
That is a bizarre way to try and exit the round. Things getting so scrambled for Wolves, not playing together, trying to get out tree really late. No one watching the flank that was wide open.
I mean, Sufat was
Odd,
for a time watching towards that gelato direction, but like we said, it's a Wisey catch a timing on him. It's a stranger Red Bull clutch, I will admit, because the way was paved early by Wolves in this round very cleanly.
One enemy remaining.
Well, BLG are going to be happy with that. What could have been a pretty solid bonus round buy has dwindled to a tragic one with a Bucky, a couple pistols. Let's see if Juicy can do something with this Guardian. Gravnet, they want to catch someone early in B main. Looks like they want to accelerate too, but the Mollies will keep them at bay temporarily.
K-Knight caught here by the paranoia and up by Logs, and here comes Wolves again with his weaker bonus buy. Need to make something happen. Levius with a quick spray down for 2. Wisey faces down the Bucky and comes off arguably second best. And that's a gun recovered by Spring. No info on where Rushia is, though. Now he knows he can look over towards spawn side. And you're kidding me? It's ridiculous, Wolves. A higgledy-piggledy little bonus.
Oh,
weird buy for them.
Everyone stood up after that. I can't blame them. It was a cool B-site execute. Even with the Bucky of Spring teleport into that dark cover while they're swinging out. Juicy gets one trade there, in full blind.
One enemy remaining.
And then at sort of the very end there, Sufat continuing his reign of terror on this map, swings out instant mirror tap. I mean, there's just no good reason they should be winning that, but they connect some sick shots. And it's hilarious with Spring teleporting it with a Bucky.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And this is now
reaction.
This is dangerous for Billy. That's the
YZ. And they're actually going to leave Levius posted up really deep right there.
Just an alarm bot to catch this. K9 trying to play on it. She takes that contact. It's going to be traded out. Good enough for Wolves for now. Shrug off the relay bolt. They're into this B site. No smoke over towards defense side though.
There we go.
Something Wisey could capitalize on. And here comes the overdrive. He takes a lot of damage in that encounter, but takes YU off the map. Still 3 rifles active for Wolves, and they've got Sufat on the side for a plant. Here comes that controller util now.
That was such a strange cage from YU. It
Spike planted.
helped the other team more than it helped him. Double flank coming right now through B main. Wolves have fully pivoted towards the site. They could get overwhelmed. This is dangerous, but Spring!
Sonic Sensor there in market, I think, forced Rushia back. He couldn't get involved in Spring. He's on for 4. 2 bloody goods! And Billy with that awkward buy. Yeah, we're up. We're on our feet. Blood is flowing. And Wolves are 2 rounds away from stealing Billy's map pick.
Spring started so low on defense, but has accelerated to 100 miles per hour on attack.
Enemy
He's now
remaining.
tied for the most kills on Wolves.
It is finished.
Can't believe he was able to get that double spray down. The players rushing out of B main together. Feels like nothing can go wrong for Wolves, even when it starts. When you start seeing them just on the precipice of disaster after YU just goes down to YZ with the weird cage play. All right, Billy, they're on their full buy now after that half.
Cutting through.
Might be the last best chance here to stabilize in this map. They've well and truly lost control. Now they're playing catch up. Juicy patient on this, suppressed as he was. Flashes into tree, gate crash out. Neff's not able to find him. Juicy barely takes any damage there as well.
So as all that utility gets right back to the pack in B main. Drone going to clear things out close. They know that they're safe to start moving into the site. YZ, he wants to fight right now. Relay bolt will cause some serious delay.
A lot of stall util coming out here. White Wolves might need to reconsider. In the past, they've stuck too close to that first plan A they've had and been unable to adapt, but here, they're going to pivot away from B with the insert of YU left behind. But YZ sees him cross mid. He can't do anything about it, though.
Spring had popped that from the shadows to go to A main. Wolves are keeping their options open. That has fully insulted the entire team from BLG. They've bought it. They've all gone to heaven. What a call from Sufat. Pivoting back to B now. Free open sight.
5 pairs of ankles
30
snapped clean
seconds
off
left.
with these map rotations. Wyatt Billy limping to respond, but they're caught outside the map, and YU fells Knight through market.
And now he just needs to get out of dodge, get back into B main. Spike is being planted by Sufat. Means the Hunter's Fury is ready to go when the retake is coming in. They need to get YU here. Great reposition from Juicy. He's going to hold the cross, try and protect his teammate.
YU tucked. Surely's heard some of this.
Oh, Juicy fell back. He could be
Hunter's
in
Fury.
trouble.
Oh, what a shot! YZ slides on him, immediately decapitated. Sufat here wants some information, so the Hunter's Fury comes out, and Rushia was caught as he made his way down.
No
2v2
surprise.
now, Levis. Looks like he was caught up inside that Sonic Sensor, though, and Lysol has a grab net where that came from. Now to play off this slowing util. Levius and Neff, time not on their side. They have to make a move. A tap on the spike, and Sufat tries to
player
deliver.
standing.
He'll cut Neff down to 34, and Lysol just needs to be patient. No time for BLG. And that's map point for Wolves.
They've done it again. What a mid-round call from Sufat. That from the shadows that was used to get Spring over into Wine. It looks like they're going to peel off, but they leave the Cypher insert in B main. They kept their options open. They pivot back to the open site. Sufat gets the Hunter's Fury with the spike down. What a round. What a beautiful call. He is putting on an Ascent Masterclass right now. Still topping the board for his team. He's putting work in with the kills.
Billy hemorrhaging as a result. No round wins on this defense side. No chance to breathe, to stabilize, to take stock of things. Again, they're thrown into it as Wolves are knocking on the door of A.
Here comes a dimensional drift, going to get all the information on the site for Wolves. They are fully stacked up, wanting to get through A main. How do BLG respond? Do they stay entrenched?
He's sticking it. Rushi there does get the ping. He knows that Wolves are up on him, but how is he going to get some breathing room here? Juicy just overloads it. Brute force solution to the problem.
I don't even know how he killed Sufat. All right, Wolves routed because of that lockdown, having to pivot back. YZ is deep on the map right now, push through. What do Wolves do? It looks like they want to just cut noise and try and re-hit into A. Dark cover is going to cut off Levius. Does he want to get active? Does he want to try to find a kill here?
Knight doesn't have recon. He can't light this up for Levius. He's going to have to be flying blind, literally shooting in the dark. Spring gets off the plant now, aware that there's a player caught inside this wall. Levius has got nowhere to go. He's stuck there.
He's boxed. He can't even move.
And it's on YZ for the game. For the map picker Billy, they won 13-4 against Wolves last time they played. But this is a different Wolves, a different pace, a different gear, a different level.
They are just playing with an effortlessness on this attack. They look fantastic right now.
Brutal stuff, YZ. Dispatch! And Wolves with the answer. Gauntlet thrown at Billy. You want to pick this map? Fine. We'll not give you any attack side rounds.
And bear in mind, the last time these two teams faced in that lower final in their qualifying run, it was a sweep 3-0 for BLG. And here Wolves have swung right back, stealing away their map pick.
We're going to step away for a moment. Up next, Yinsu and our analyst desk are going to break down this map number 1 of Ascent and set our sights on our second map of Split.